I'm Kelly Smith and I'm the founder of Be Brave Coaching. On today's video, I want to talk about something that's a little close to my heart, a little difficult to talk about at times, but as most of you know who have been following me, who have been reading my book, who have been following my blog, and of course my videos, you know that I was in a toxic, abusive relationship, and that also when I was married, I was a toxic, abusive person in that relationship. So that's never fun to talk about, but have been out of that for a long time and have been recovering and healing from a lot of things. When I realized this is who I was and that I needed to get help, I needed to be a better person, a better version of me, I was referred to Celebrate Recovery. So I went into that recovery program, not really knowing what it was, but embracing the process to a degree, kind of fought it a little bit, but then realized it was a great thing for me. But I want to talk a little bit about one of my meetings in particular that was really difficult for me to kind of go through. I was talking about dating again, talking about my fears of regressing and going back to the person that I was before I got into recovery. When I was in recovery, I took a lot of time to heal. I took a lot of time to really pull out the bad parts of me, pull out all the parts of me, I guess I should say, and figure out which ones wanted to, or I needed to have them go back, and which ones I just got rid of entirely. So while I was on the verge of dating again, while I was thinking about doing that again, while I was wondering how ready I was for that, I had said to my sponsor, I was like, I'm afraid to date again because I don't want to meet someone and have them on my inventory at some point. So inventory is this sheet of paper that, and I actually have a copy of it right here, but it's this sheet of paper where you talk about, I guess the best way to describe it is a situation you've been through that's affecting your life. So in my inventory, when I was going through my recovery process, I had my mom, my exes on there, some friends, some family. And I remember just thinking, it seems like no matter what, when you're with someone, they're probably going to disappoint you. And to get on inventory, it has to be massive destruction in a sense, where it's something someone has done that is so bad that it affects your life negatively for a long time, and you have to really work through it. So for me, it was dating again was scary because it was, am I ready for this? Am I going to be the woman that I've worked so hard to be? Am I going to regress? And then also, what kind of a person will this be? Will this person hurt me enough? Where are they going to be on my inventory? And that was a real fear of mine. It was something I had to really work through. And what I realized throughout this whole process from that to now is no relationship in any way, shape, or form is going to be free from hurt, free from pain. I remember with my kids, when they were little, I used to kiss them on the lips. And then at one point, I remember each one, I have 3 boys, turning their face so I didn't kiss them on the lips, I kissed them on the cheek. And that was completely heartbreaking for me. I felt so, I guess, just upset and just destroyed that they were like, our relationship is changing. Don't kiss me on the lips, that's weird. And they were 3. So it was that was pain. I felt actual pain, and it was really sad. And it's just, no matter what relationship you're in, friends will break your heart. Your mom will break your heart, but that's a whole different thing for me. But they say with women, your dad is the first man to break your heart, and they're not lying. Dads break your heart first, and it's a tough thing. So when I finally felt whole enough to date again, whole enough to think about dating again, these were some of my fears. What was this going to be like? So for me, going into something, I was like, how am I going to be? How am I going to react? How do I want to be as a woman? How do I want to treat a man? What do I want that to look like? But what I wasn't thinking about was him. What is he going to treat me like? What is this going to happen? So I worked really hard to become this woman that I want to be, that can attract a good, solid, decent man that's not going to be verbally abusive or emotionally abusive, any of those abuses. And it was a scary thing, but realizing that no matter what relationship you're in, you're going to face some kind of hurt. So dating after you've been in something so toxic is tough, because you get to a point where you heal and you feel like, yeah, I'm ready to face this day. Actually, my last podcast was about this. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to take on dating, and here I am, and I'm healthy, and I'm ready, and let's do this, and and this is how it's going to be, and we're going to do all these great things. And then reality hits you, and you don't realize coming out of something like what's on the other side of dating, and that we're going to meet people that do not think along the same lines as us. They're going to have different traumas, different ways they grew up. For me, dating while I'm living in the South is difficult because I'm from the North. So we have a whole different way of thinking, a whole different way of being sarcastic, a whole different way of everything versus the South. So for me, it was, North versus the South, and trying to figure out the different cultures and the different backgrounds and the different way people were raised and how completely different it is, that there are actually people in the South that don't like the Patriots. Wow. So you're trying to tell me my option is dating like a Cowboy fan or a Texan fan? Anyway, that's a whole nother video. But figuring this out and figuring how to understand someone, how to get to the bottom of what they've been through and what they've gone through and who they are as a person, and then making it work from there. So for me, when I got not out of recovery, but didn't do it as much as I was doing it, and then getting into something new, there were a lot of things along this path that I didn't realize I had to still heal from. So it was, a few nights ago, I kind of got up and I printed out my recovery forms. This is what it looks like. So I sat up for a couple hours and filled this out and realized, okay, so these are some of the things that's going on this end, and this is what's bothering me, but why is this bothering me? Why is this with this person bothering me now when I went through this with somebody else, but why is this affecting me? So it was amazing for me to get up, print off these sheets, and really start filling them out. So I had 3 or 4 sheets all filled out with my fears, with my inventory, what I was still feeling. And it was interesting for me to kind of go in and dig deep and to figure out some of the stuff that happened in my last relationship that is still affecting me today. And it doesn't really matter necessarily who you're with, because they can't fix you. They can't pull you out of anything. You have to be willing and capable to do these things on your own. And it doesn't necessarily have to involve the other person that you're with. And if you want to share that, you can, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. So it's been definitely interesting for me to figure out on this new path, things that are affecting me and how to continue healing from it, but also date someone and spend time with someone and still meet my own needs, but also have someone else understand what my needs are. So it's definitely an interesting sort of dynamic